Hey everybody, good morning. It's Dave here from Holiday for Two. Are you getting ready to go camping for the season and you want to look for some free or cheap camping, especially like in Arizona? I'm going to show you today in this video the best ways to find and how to locate some free or cheap camping in Arizona. If you like this video, please hit like, share, and subscribe and ring that little notification bell on the side so you'll be notified when I put out more videos in the future. So let's take a look how to find free camping or cheap camping in Arizona.
So someday when my ship comes in, I know just what we'll do. We'll pack our bags and quit our jobs and have a holiday for two. We'll pack our bags and quit our jobs and have a holiday for two.
Alright, welcome back everybody. So how do you go about finding free or cheap camping when you're traveling through Arizona? I'm going to break this down into a couple of different parts. First place to go look for free or cheap camping in Arizona is called BLM land. BLM stands for Bureau of Land Management. Way back in 1945, President Truman designated BLM, the Bureau of Land Management, as part of the Department of Interior, and they were in charge of handling all the open land that was in the United States and kind of keeping it under their auspices. And so that's how BLM got started. So there's BLM land all over the United States. It's usually in places where you don't find anybody, like out in the middle of the desert and the wilderness areas. So that's the first place to look, BLM land. The second place you want to look is state trust land. In Arizona, state trust land is similar to BLM land, but it's run by the state of Arizona. Now, other states have the same sort of setup. You can literally drive in the desert and go from state trust land to BLM land to state trust land to BLM land, all within a quarter of a mile. It's not unusual to kind of hopscotch over those different areas. Now, here's the funny thing. Right here on my map, it says state trust land. So where I am right now is state trust land. But the moment I cross over this little line right here, now I'm going to be on BLM land, or Ironwood National Monument land. So that's the thing I was describing in my earlier. You can be in one spot and be in state trust land, then cross over and be in BLM land, or a dispersed camping spot. In just a minute, I'll show you a way you can find those kind of places to camp and how to tell whether you're on state trust land or on BLM land. And finally, the third place to look for cheap or free camping is dispersed camping on the national forests that are in Arizona. Now, Arizona has several national forests. A couple of them, like Coconino National Forest is one of the large ones, Tonto National Forest, Apache Sitgreaves National Forest, Prescott National Forest, and so on. Within those national forest areas of Arizona, you can camp in what's called dispersed camping. And it's like Boon Docking, or in BLM land. It's kind of like you can camp in those designated areas for free. And there's typically no charges in that area. But also, here's something else to consider. If you're going to camp in state trust land or BLM land or dispersed camp in the forest, you're not going to have the services usually. Now let me go back to that BLM for just a moment. When you camp in BLM land, there are lots of areas in Arizona that are designated camping areas that are BLM, and many of them are free. There's a 14-day stay limit in most of them. There are a few exceptions, and one exception I'll go right away with is Quartzsite, Arizona. If you go to Quartzsite, all around the city of Quartzsite, there are BLM campgrounds. Some of them charge fees. It's like $40 for 2 weeks, $180 for 6 months. If I'm wrong on that, somebody will put it down in the comments. But I'm pretty sure that's what it is. It's like $40 for a 2-week permit and $180 for a 6-month permit. And that fee covers services like garbage and trash pickup, sewer dump stations so you can dump your holding tanks. Also get areas where you can get water for your RVs. It doesn't include power. You have to provide your electrical power on your own. That's why I usually use solar. A lot of people use solar because here in Arizona in the wintertime we have plenty of sun and the weather's nice, so you'll have lots of sun for solar. All right, same thing with state trust land. State trust land also charges a fee. You can go on the website for State of Arizona State Trust Land permit for camping. Runs about $20. And some of these things I'm going to show on the computer for you so you can see what I'm talking about. There's a web page that you go to for Arizona State Trust Land, and you want to make sure you click on the link for camping permit, family and group permit. There's different kinds. You pay your fee right there online. They give you a certificate so that you can download it to your phone, and that's all you need. You just need to have proof that you paid your $20 for the year in case a sheriff comes by or a county official and asks for your state trust permit. BLM permits you get right there in Quartzsite. If you go to Quartzsite, you get the little stickers. They put it on your RV. You pay your 2-week fee or your 6-month fee. And a lot of people figure for 6 months, $30, that works out to about $30 a month if you stay there from October through April. And that's really not bad considering the services that are provided with that fee that you pay. But how do you find those kinds of camping? Let's go to the next part. Part 2 of this. How do I find those three? How do I find BLM land? How do I find state trust land? How do I find dispersed camping? Here's a couple of ways. There's a website. I'll show you the link here in just a second. It's called freecampsites.net. freecampsites.net. You can go on that website, just type in the area that you want to look for, and it will show you on the internet, it'll show you on the website where in that area, that location, you can find some free camping. Dispersed camping, it could be state trust camping, it might be BLM camping. The other website that you can use is called Campendium. There's an app that you can get on your iPhones or Androids, and you go into Campendium, you type your location, you type in, let's say Prescott, Arizona, or Flagstaff, Arizona, and then it'll show you on the website or the app where in the location that you typed in where you can find some camping. Sometimes it'll show you where you could have to pay, and sometimes it'll show you where you can camp for free. So that's Campendium. It's a great little app to have on your phone anyway, along with several others like Gas Buddy is another one I like to have. Now the third one is also an app, and this is a great app, but there is a fee for this app. It's called Gaia. Gaia. You can go on to the Apple Store or the Android Store and download it. Sometimes you can get coupons for Gaia where it's like $19.99 for the year. I think the regular fee is $29 or $39 for a year, but it is worth it to download that app and have it on your phone, have it on a tablet. You need a tablet that has GPS capability because this tablet, this app will track your location using the app. So here's what I do. This is my setup on my truck, and I have the same setup I use on my motorhome, but it's a little different. This is my tablet that has Gaia apps, and I don't know if you can see this or not, but I'll try. I have it dialed in here for where we are. Those three different kinds of areas, these maps can help you just tell the difference between what kind of land you're camping on. And this is Gaia Maps, and it's very detailed. So it tells me right away whether I'm on dispersed in forest land, or state trust land, or BLM land. Now down on my phone I have Google Maps. Google Maps does not show you when you're in state trust land, BLM land, or forest land. Well, it does show you when you're in forest land, but it does not tell you that it's dispersed camping. If you don't have GPS tracking capability, then you're going to miss out on some of the features of Gaia. Gaia Map app will show you where you are on the app in relation to the map, and also show you whether you're on state trust land or BLM land. It also shows where national forest camping areas are. So it's a great app to have. Gaia apps. And finally, another app that's great to have. It's a free app, but you do have to pay for the maps, and that is Avenza. 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 And there is one that I really love to use in particular. It's the map app for Coconino National Forest. And Coconino National Forest has really this great map that you can download for motor vehicle use map for the whole national forest of Coconino National Forest. It shows you where the dispersed camping areas are. I've talked about this before. If you download the Avenza app and then download off the Coconino National Forest website, download the map for the motor vehicle use map for Coconino National Forest. It will show you where all the dispersed camping areas are. And it will follow you. If you have a device that's GPS capable, you can see right where you are and where the dispersed camping is. And there are so many spots in Coconino National Forest, as well as Apache Sitgreaves. But Apache Sitgreaves and Tonto, they don't have the kind of map that Coconino has. Coconino National Forest has one of the best maps that you can download. But Tonto Forest also has dispersed camping. It's just a little trickier to find it in Tonto. So there you go. Those are 4 things that you can use to find those kinds of places. And finally, let's close with courtesy expectations. Things that you're kind of expected to do if you camp in these free and cheap camping areas. And some of these things that I'm going to share with you are just kind of common sense. But as some of you know, there's not a lot of people out there who always have common sense. So the first rule, I'm going to call these the courtesy rules of boondocking. First courtesy rule is pick up your trash. I can't tell you how many times I've been camping out in the forest or on boondocking in BLM land and find beer bottles, Coke cans, baby diapers, used baby diapers. And even one spot we went to up in Blue Ridge, I found a whole discarded propane stove right in the middle of the woods. Somebody just kicked it off the back of their truck and left it there, and they tore all the pieces they needed, I guess, and left the whole stove out there in the middle of the forest. Which, that's one of those things where it's like a duh, right? I mean, you don't do that. That's kind of the things that are sort of common sense rules that not everybody always thinks about as being, oh, we just don't do that. But people do it. People leave the trash out there. They leave the dirty diapers in a bag out there and expect somebody else to pick it up. Make sure you leave the area. What's the old saying that I like to always say? Leave it like you found it. And if you follow those kind of things, the common sense sort of expectations, then we will have camping for everybody for a longer time period. I've heard stories that they want to close off areas of the national forest because it gets so bad. Trash pickup has been so bad in certain areas. They want to shut them down or charge fees. And so I don't want to see that happen. I don't think you do either. So if we just kind of monitor and do that ourselves, it'll make it a nicer place for everybody to go camping and enjoy the great outdoors, because it is beautiful out there. I always brag this, but I'll say it again. Arizona has year-round camping. You can camp here in the wintertime. You can camp here in the summertime. You just don't want to camp in the desert because it's so stinking hot. But you can camp in the mountains. And so this is Dave, Holiday for Two, saying, hope you find this helpful. Please don't forget to hit the like button, share, subscribe, and ring that little bell so you'll be notified when I put out more videos in the future. So safe travels. Take care. We'll catch you later. Have a good day.